Okay, greetings, and it looks like we're live. As promised, I'm coming to you with something a little bit different this time. I don't know if you've looked at my Steam profile or my YouTube channel, but I've previously done runs of a scrolling shooter from early 2000s called Jets and Guns, and this got a sequel a few years ago, which I participated in the early access for, and I was very happy with the final results. It was kind of a bumpy ride of bug testing, but I believe that they did an excellent job on this in the end. So I wanted to show that off today. I don't think I've done just basically want to do the first loop. This is a lot shorter than the previous game, because the previous game had 40-something levels, and this only has about, I think 10 or 12 total. But I mean, you loop through them as on higher difficulties as you continue. I'm just going to create a new player. As you can see, I've done this a few times. You know, I've done like 10 or 11 loops on these things here. Emote standard. I kind of wish they had more options for the character photo, like they did in the previous game. But that is what we got right now. Continuing my proud tradition of having stupid names for fucking everything. There we go. That sounds dignified. Let's go. Okay. Onward. Alright, here's our little tutorial level. Just in case you never played one of these before and don't know how holding a fire button works, I guess. Well, to be fair, it's there we go. Yes, I used fire, I used bomb. Oh, I forgot there is actually other stuff here too. You're supposed to do this, and there I can trigger my barrier device to get through this. One of the new things in this is that oh, for crying out loud. Good job. Forgot that doesn't last very long, that's the problem. See, I was trying to think what I was going to say next, and see, they give you these devices that you can use for special purposes, but they're powered by this purple stuff you pick up here. They give you a little respawning thing to make sure you can use it. Now, this is a barrier that protects me from, basically, its invulnerability from the front for a very short period of time. So if you need to get through something like a laser trap like that, that's very useful. Wow, I'm never going to live that one down. I'm going to have to become a games journalist, guys. I just failed the tutorial. Do I have any money to upgrade anything at this moment? Not really. There's also really nothing in the store. It's not supposed to be at this point, so... I think this... I forget if I have to manually save this or if this just operates on autosaves. I think it just sort of autosaves whenever you've actually finished one, but... nice thing about this is that you can actually go back and replay levels, which is something they didn't allow you to do before. So say, if you got like one of the problems in the first game as far as the gameplay loop was there was a bit of unstable equilibrium in the sense that if you did really poorly on the early levels, it kind of snowballed sometimes because, your firepower is based on how much stuff you can afford, which is based on how much stuff you killed. So say you kind of really flubbed one level and you got a lot less money out of it than you could have. You had to dodge a lot of targets, you had to avoid a lot of targets, or you just didn't, you just neglected to bomb some of the bonuses and stuff you could have. Then you go to the next level with less firepower than they expected you to have, and then you probably do poorly in that level because of that, and it's like you can end up with a really bad run where you get into the late game and you're kind of struggling to actually get by because your gear is just not where it's supposed to be. So say if, for example, in this, if I do, and there's really no option in the first game except to go back to the start and try to do better, or just live with it. But here it's like, say if I do poorly, if I get 20,000 in the first level and I'm disappointed with that, I can go back and, keep the 20,000 and say if I replay it and get 30,000, the extra 10,000 will be credited to me. So it's like you can, you can't just farm the same level indefinitely to get infinite money, but you can get money you missed. Is sort of how it works. Which I think is a nice idea. Right now I just have these two little joke weapons here, basically. They're cold pea shooters. It's, say no more. Let me go into my... No, that's not what I wanted, sorry. I wanted to see where you customize the ship, because I forget where that is. Profile? Yeah, profile, okay. It's gonna change, like, to my... There's one combo I really like. Got my, like, America paint here, and like, the green, yeah. I like this combo for some reason. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. And got my energy barrier device, which is the only thing I can really afford right now. I've got my really basic bombs here, which I can't really do anything at this level. You're just using default weapons at this point. You're gonna like it because they said so. Welcome card that gives you a few hints and tips. Buying and selling prices are the same, so experiment. Spend all your money, even weak gun adds power. Get DPS damage per second as high as possible. HP hit points represents health of the ship. Press the mission button on top to start the next mission. Okay. I would hope that's what it does, or otherwise that button is kind of there for nothing. I could sell this, but I'm just going to hang on to it because it's cute, so... Also, I'm kind of glad to be online, it's just, it's having a bit of a trash mood for a minute there, and I'm already in a better one having done this, so... Galaxy is in danger. Powerful alien technology known as Necrodread Generator fell into the hands of a notorious pirate clan and has been sold in black market. Members of the clan are often seen in the filthy den of space pirates and smugglers called Star City 17, which it's a Half-Life reference in case anyone missed that. Half-Life 2 specifically. Somebody in there will know more, but the criminals are not going to give you any information without a fight. Find the tech before it brings the demise of the whole United Space Federation. One thing that might be a little bit disappointing is that as far as the first game storytelling through the comic pages and stuff like that, there is basically none of that here. Like, little to none. Like, there's some cute item descriptions and stuff and, Easter eggs and whatever, but there's really, they still do the cute cultural references thing, but it's just, I guess it was just outside the budget and so on to actually, I think even the comic pages and stuff, I'm not sure how much of that was in the original release before they did Jetson Guns Gold, which is, I think, where a lot of that stuff got fleshed out because they added a bunch of, stuff to the game in that edition. But yeah, this is more like, it's a little, I don't know, I would have liked more lore, I would have liked more story. I kind of like the universe they crafted here. You see bits and pieces of it, but it's kind of a cute sort of like, grimdark cyberpunk universe that doesn't take itself too seriously, if that makes any sense. So anyway, it's very satirical, I guess you would say, in the way that stuff like Hitchhiker's Guide is. Alright, I'm gonna head into Star City and 17 and try not to die too much. I will probably potato something because I haven't played this game in a minute. One of the funny little things you can set, like every now and then you'll see, it's a lot more destructible stuff that just sort of falls apart when you blast it, which is kind of neat. Like as far as like the buildings and stuff. Every now and then you'll see like some. Like, in addition to stuff like the little rocket barrels, like, sometimes you'll see electrical signs and stuff that when you shoot it and blow it up and a lightning bolt shoots out and hits nearby ships. so that can be used to your advantage. You know, I like what they do with the environment stuff. I'm gonna try not to just like spend all day replaying levels to do them better, because that's like a never-ending time sink if you really wanna like go back to your level that you try to grab like, you know, a few hundred or a few thousand more credits out of it. You can do that. It shouldn't be necessary unless you're kind of half-assing it on the first try. Oh, those rockets. Go away. Oh, I forgot I have bombs. I could have dropped bombs on him as he slammed past me. Yeah, I forgot I could do this. Boom. Just making wreckage any way I can here. First rubber ducky. That. See, that's what I wanted to do the other one there, but I missed my opportunity. Here, have some of those too. I am taking way too many hits. I'm a little rusty. I don't know what the hell just happened there, but I didn't like it. I better start using this. I should save that for the boss. 88 miles per hour. 1.21 gigawatts. What the heck is a gigawatt? Now I have to fight this guy with like, and I have no antimatter to power that shield. Good thing I don't do this for a living. I think I've gotten nearly gone, though. For some reason, even though they give you the worst possible weapons on this, I still usually squeak by it. And if I replay it, I usually don't get much more money, even if I take the money, upgrade the heck out of my arsenal and go back. It's like, okay, you get like a few thousand more, but not really worth the playtime. Alright. And you get this little results screen here telling you how you did, how much percentage of stuff you blew up of various kinds. Much you made 23k. Could be worse, could be better. Got a lot of medals that don't actually mean anything. Welcome to Jets and Guns, where everything is made up and the points mean nothing. Okay. I already have an energy barrier. I'm not really too interested in upgrading these yet. I'm more interested in actually move one of these to the rear slot. It's incompatible. Wait, really? Is that true? Oh no, I'm trying to move it to the gem slot. I didn't talk about gems yet. Gems, gun enhancement modules. Yeah, basically they kind of threw some Diablo-style stuff in here. It's kind of like how in games like Diablo or Torchlight you can put magic gems in your weapons to give them various cool perks. And like here, they're gun enhancement modules, but basically it's space magic, you know, for your guns. I don't have any available in the store yet. The store is a lot more limited in this game as far as gating things off. You know, until you're really ready that you need them. So I'm not going to see gems for a little bit. I do have a couple of weapon options here. Don't really have any gadgets yet. There's up to 6, like instead of your ship, like each ship having different upgrade thing, like under the, you know, under here, it's you can buy different equipment and swap it out. Like it's not sort of, well, since there's like only one ship in this game now, like there's not, you don't switch between different ships over the course of the game. You're just upgrading the one you have, and you can swap equipment in and out of these slots. That you know, this is where you get stuff like bonus armor, power shield, and like other, you know, things that do weird, like rotary cage and other stuff that does like weird abilities for you. I am going to put the Fontaine in here and a Viper gun in here, And I think the Viper gun's going to be my workhorse for the moment, so I'm going to put a little money into boosting that. I only have 2k left. I can't really boost anything else. I'm okay with that for now. Just like the next levels, like, are just, they're not going to be that difficult for a little bit. You don't get a big boost of money for selling these anymore. These are like, used to be a couple of K, and now it's like, you know, that's like 120. Same with the medals never gave you much money to begin with, but yeah, same deal here. Shows me my medals and lifetime stats and stuff over here. I hope the game isn't choking a little bit there, because this is also where I can go to the test range and can shoot the test targets. Are we crashing? What's going on? Okay. The game is choking a little bit, and I don't understand why. Alright, I might be having some tech problems here. Hang in there, we will figure this out. I think it's probably Windows trying to do something it shouldn't be trying to do right now. But I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna give it like a minute and see if it corrects itself. If not, I might have to exit and relaunch. I don't know. I'm sorry for that terrible... okay, here we go. I have no idea what happened there, and I hope it doesn't happen again. Yeah, they give you, you know, this is where you can test your loadouts versus various common scenarios you'll encounter in the levels. Sorry for that, like, annoyance back there. Windows is always helping. Had to, like, you know, bomb, like, the big gunships and stuff. Alright, I think I've exhausted that for now, so, yeah. But that's like, you know, I can test my loadout and see what it's doing for me. This is, you know, this is kind of a fun level, but it's like one of my like least favorite like pains in the ass in the entire game right now, because it's like a really, really fast scrolling level where you're constantly sort of dodging walls while trying not to get jammed into a bad position as stuff pops out at you. And it's going to be a little rough. You know, I'll probably die a couple of times on this one. We'll see what happens. Could bomb these boxes for shield bits and so on. Like whenever you see a pile of crates, that's what you should be doing there. You know, they give you stuff like the power shield early on because they're going to put you in unfair situations where you're going to need it, so... You know, the game sort of doesn't pull any punches because of the options it gives you. I remember this part getting miserable. Can't remember exactly what happens here. Guess I'm gonna find out soon enough. Yeah, I'm already kind of screwing this up a little bit. Oh yeah, okay. I remember disliking that. There's a Hydra I missed. Sorry. Next time, maybe. Seem to just pop up at that exact moment where they're like, hey, you really need a breather right now? Haha, screw you. Yeah. what I'm talking about. Oh good, I got my ultra back. It's really not nearly the best ultra in the game. It can be very helpful in certain circumstances. I mean, you can get a lot of value out of it here, because it's one of those things where you're just trying not to get overwhelmed from the front. You can also upgrade that to the point that it sort of circles the whole ship. Not like a perfect bubble, but you have like one in front, one in back, and one above and one below. So, you know, that's pretty amazing. I think there's better stuff to use by that point, though. What do I have here? I'm trying to see if I can follow my usual suggestion for these, you know, like, what I usually try to follow in this game is that I don't just, like, well, I guess I kind of already violated that because the game forces you in the first level, but, not to just sort of, like, double or triple up on every gun. I only have 4 slots this time anyway. You have, like, 1 rear slot and the 3 front slots, and that's what you got to work with. But I would like something else here. Keep the Fountain and the Viper. I don't want to, like, devote too much firepower to the back slot because that could actually be a bit of a problem. I think I might move stuff around like this. I've got the Shogun, which is a big shotgun thing. And the nice thing about this is that it's one of these, like, bullet weapons that has, like, sort of a heat cost of 0, effectively, so this is a relatively low heat cost. This is where I can start getting equipment to, like, upgrade stuff like armor, cooling, etc. If I buy this, I could put it in my equipment slot to, you know, to speed that up. Speed up the cooling process. I'm gonna ditch these default bombs, which are boring as heck. I mean, these are kind of almost the default bombs, but they got like a little more punch to them. And let me drop something in the missile slot. Yeah, I can't get the cooling fan now, but I think it's more important that I maybe upgrade some of these. This is kind of my main gun right now, so I don't know how much does it cost. Well, no, never mind. Yeah, heck with it for now. This is a shotgun that fires in, you know, just fires a couple of shots every second or so. Well, I think like, you know, depending on how far you upgrade it, you know, it gets like eventually gets like a pretty big spread that fires about twice a second, I think. And this is the Clint chain gun, which is, you know, this is kind of like most of the regular chain guns, except that the fire rate is not even. It fires in bursts, so it's like 5.7 per second, but it's like it fires like, you know, like all 6 shots in about half a second, and then it just stops for half a second. So it's kind of like, I think it's a reference to, like, you know, the Clint Eastwood Man with No Name, sort of like, you know, spamming the whole revolver at everybody, you know, like in like one burst and hitting everything. So that's kind of cute. I mean, it's a little way to differentiate it from all the other stuff, like all the other typical weapons in the game, like the Daisy Cutter and so on. So it was a cute idea, at least. Alright, so I don't think I have enough to upgrade anything else, but let me make sure. Yeah, I am not close to upgrading any. Wait, no, I can upgrade that. Okay. At least the rear gun will have a little punch if something sneaks up behind me, or I have to cheese something from the, by, like, swooping in front of it, so. Okay, so I used up almost all my money. That's generally what you want. Because money sitting in your bank account does nothing for your DPS, so... and your DPS is actually, for this, like the energy barrier doesn't matter, but you're going to get sort of super weapons later that they scale to your DPS, and there's certain other, you know, certain abilities that they scale to, like, the total damage per second that all your guns are putting, and I believe... I'm trying to remember, I think bombs count for this, I'm not sure if missiles also count for it. I think it does, though. I mean, I have to... But basically, it's, well, I could just test by putting that out there, but yeah, my DPS goes down when I take that off. And likewise the bombs. So, okay, so everything seems ready to go. Now, the next one is this stupid pirate base. This isn't too bad. I'm gonna have to fight a somewhat annoying boss at the end. I'm just gonna pop this now because I hate picking up the antimatter just for it to do nothing. It's like once you're at max capacity for antimatter, picking up more is just a waste. Unfortunately, it does not stop you from picking it up. Although it wouldn't be on the screen very long anyway. I hope the sound is acceptable. This seems a little bit louder than the first one to me. I did turn it down a little bit, but I mean you know, the loud explosions and stuff are kind of part of the fun of this game, so... Also did put the warning in the title for, that this does have a lot of flashing lights, and I put the shaky cam warning even though I have the shaky camera feature turned off, because one, I don't know how much of the swooping around and stuff, like how much there's going to be shaking anyway, and two, I feel like if people intend to buy the game, I just sort of want to warn them that that's like a thing that's in there by default and you have to go turn it off. The first game did not give you the option to turn it off, and even though I'm not someone who's like sensitive or has a problem with it, it's like it kind of wears out its welcome after a little bit, at least for me anyway. You know, just sort of like the screen shaking every time you blow something up starts ingrating. Actually, oddly enough, I actually don't mind that too much in first-person games because it makes it more immersive. But like for this, I kind of feel like it's, you know, it's a cool feature, but it's like, you know, there's a point where I'm like, enough already. I wonder if my rear gun is actually going to be enough to pop this. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's pretty neat. Oh, I got a cargo crate. Nice. Oh, I shouldn't have popped that. I think I screwed up now. I really could use that for a certain point where the tank comes out. I gotta learn to manage that better. Oh, hi. How you doing? Okay, I have enough to do it anyway. Just worried about getting wrecked by, like, the lasers or the front guy before I can get rid of them. You know, since these guys like to sort of block you and make you, like, force you to the right side of the screen, I actually kind of don't mind that I have the rear gun there. Yeah, these two things are only vulnerable for those domes that I'm hitting right now. This is a part where it's like there's going to be lasers shooting out of this guy, and I don't want to get baked by them. Alright, I think this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, keep in mind this is only the first loop on normal, so I don't think they let you start on hard in this one, unless I had a chance to do that and I forgot how. I found all 3 secrets. That was kind of an accident. I wasn't really looking for them. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I want to get rid of this because this is like one of my favorite bombs in the game. Let's it's like the napalm thing does like a damage over time on the ground targets. There's a lot of equipment I could put in here, but I'm a wee bit worried about my DPS. And I can get the fridge, that's kind of like... Actually, that's a fun thing I could show you in a minute. This thing does not really... I mean, this is meant to be sort of a starter weapon, so I might want to put something better in there. I don't know. I don't think there's any gems available yet, but I do have equipment. One of the equipments I do not have is the thing that you would use to crack this cargo container, unfortunately. I can just sell it sight unseen. I think I'll hang on to it until the Adderix shows up in the store. I don't know. Also, I have cam off right now, or at least I should have cam off. It's going to be funny if I screw that up. Because I'm just kind of like, this is a full screen scrolling shooter, and no matter where I put the cam, it could be blocking crucial parts of the action, because stuff swoops in from the side, you know, the edges of the screen all the time from every angle. So I don't want to be blocking it with my mug right now. Also, you know, I kind of like, it's the middle of the night, and I kind of look like I rolled out of bed, because I did, sort of. Let's see, I don't know, should I put the daisy cutter here? It's pretty significant cost for right there. I mean, one of the nice things about this is that, like, it, you know, you have, like, no heat cost for firing it, so I like to upgrade the missiles as much as I can as soon as possible. I'd like to get this because there's something funny about this here. Slows down overheating of your ship slightly. Nice vintage fridge gives your ship a bit of cooling. Also, you can find a few cans of beer inside. So if I click examine on this, I get this in my inventory, which is the terrible beer that's made fun of in the first game. Disgusting weak brew tasting like liquidated fish excretion. After the fall of the Einhoff beer empire, this is the only beer available on the galactic alcohol market, and therefore widely spread. These are sad times. I'm gonna do my upgrades, and then I can get that to full. These are actually really shaping up right now. I'm liking this build so far. Should I upgrade this, or I think maybe upgrading the bombs would be a better deal right now. Oh, I can get the Adderix. All right. Oh, it's under other instead of equipment. Yeah, because this just stays in inventory. I don't know why I can't swap items here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna use this to see if I can... Now I can try to hack this thing instead of just selling it. Unfortunately, it is one of the most infuriating mini games in the whole world, and I hate it. It's the Snake game, basically. If you ever had like one of those Snake games on your phone back in the day or whatever, I mean, that's basically what it is. It's like you try to like zoom around eating dots without like cutting yourself off or eating your own tail. And you get like a little bit longer every time you eat a dot, so it gets progressively more difficult. This is what they do instead of the password guessing. I'm gonna start. See, I mean, I theoretically could operate it like this if I hated myself, you know. But I mean, I'm just gonna use I think the arrow keys are used for this. So Okay, and boom. I somehow succeeded at that. Okay, so what I got was worth, like, I think a little bit more than what was in it, so... Wonderwurst. Most common and successful product of Wonderwurst fast food company is widely considered disgusting and dangerous. The centerpiece of the assembly is made of Wonder Meat, TM, a matter recycled from waste product of hyperdrives through advanced molecular manipulation. The bun is bulletproof, and there's no sauce. Yeah, I could sell that if I want. I'm just, right now I'm just sort of collecting these things. I don't think, like, even selling all this stuff is going to get me enough for one more upgrade, so... I'm just gonna leave the cute souvenirs as they are for now. Yeah, some other things I could get at this point would be the sidearm, which is like a kind of like side shot weapon that does like this and this basically. It's kind of like the Suntech from the first game. The Daisy Cutter is back. We're gonna eventually gonna see stuff like the Pink Panther and whatever coming back too, I think. As we advance in level. I don't have enough really for any more upgrades here, so I think I'm just gonna jump in there. Oh, and I unlocked the secret level Christmas Mayhem here by completing this. So, I mean, since it's, well, whatever. Tis the season. Let me give this a shot. This basically is me trying to collect 100 gift packages to get secret weapons and stuff. Oh no, I think I just replayed. I double-clicked and I replayed the wrong level. Alright, let me just, I don't want to have to back out of this, so let me just get out of here real quick. But this is what replaying this level with excessive firepower looks like, so. I forgot when you click on one of these things that it sort of, you know, it sort of scrolls to the thing you clicked on, and like if you double click, like you end up clicking in the same place, but there's something else there. Kind of shows you at least what my loadout looks like. Now, as you can see, I'm having a significantly easier time here. Like, stuff is just kind of melting away from me at this point. And I'm not having to, like, hide from nearly as many targets. Most of these I can just destroy outright. Oh, I got the hitchhiker this time. Cool. Alright, I feel less bad about that. Did have to get toasted a little bit there to get him, but I got him. The gun's cool a second. I keep forgetting that, like, not just constantly spraying and praying is usually, you know, there's usually some advantage to letting the jumps cool off a little bit so that you don't get caught short when you're trying to fight off away from enemies. The heat mechanic is pretty fair in this compared to the way a lot of games do it. It's actually, like, some games make it infuriating. I think they got it just about right in this one. The previous game did a good job with that too, for the most part. Alright. Anyway, enough of that. I wanted to go to the Christmas level. I'm going to have to do a lot of aggressive maneuvering to get the things I want here, so I might die a bit because I am gonna be hugging the ground trying to pick up these stupid packages. Really making things interesting for myself right now. I also just missed a lot of gifts, I think. Damn it. Alright, let's try that again. See, it's not just popping these guys to get them to drop the gifts, it's actually trying to catch them before they hit the ground and have to take collision damage to try to get them. Also, those gifts didn't count because I died. They're wise to that. In an earlier build, you could just, like, die on purpose and just collect the first few gifts over and over to make sure you got the 100, but not now. That's one of the hidden weapons. There's a whole, like, Christmas set of weapons that you can get. One of them you have to get by getting the 100 packages. The other two are hidden in crates around there. I think I'm getting near done with gift collecting, actually. Alright. You've got a gift. Alright, now I don't have to go nuts trying to grab every last package at the expense of my life. Uh-oh. Just missing this one. There we go. We have to fight that annoying tank again. Except now I have much better abilities to deal with them. This guy on the higher difficulties is a nightmare. Don't let it fool you, but fighting this guy on normal is not the same as, you know, what he's going to be like later. You get much cooler stuff later, but you also get, you know, everything more or less sort of scaled to your level, so to speak. So the later loops they get really brutal, and then they start introducing mechanics like, you know, you have enemies that, you know, normal enemies just start like exploding and leaving shrapnel you have to dodge and things like that. They start introducing really nasty mechanics later on. Like, I think somewhere around, like, the 7th loop or whatever that starts happening. So I've got my candy gun. The made design of this weapon uses a powerful pneumatic system to catapult super-hardened coaxium and sugar canes as projectiles. This alien candy is so hard it can rip through heavy metal plating. Defeat your opposition with the power of bright colors and diabetes. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Yay, Die Hard references. Yelka missile. Behold these rocket-propelled happy trees from legendary weapon designer Rob Boas. Yeah. They bring a festive mood to your enemies for sure. There's no annihilation, just happy accidents. So this is a missile that basically launches happy little Bob Ross trees at your enemies. And if I take the Santa's voucher, special Santa's voucher for free item for gathering enough Christmas packages in the secret Christmas Mayhem level. Get your reward. Let's get our reward. And surprise MF. Surprise, motherfucker. Nice or naughty? Definitely naughty. And if I put this... Now, we have weapon sets in this game now. The way this works is that you get a special effect if you have everything in the set equipped. So what am I going to do here? Let me just to show you for a minute, I'm just going to swap this out. I don't think I'm maybe going to use these, but I can take it to the test range, I suppose. These don't really have enough sale value that they impact your money just for finding them, by the way. And I believe that's by design. So now, if you look at my ship in the test range now, because I'm wearing the entire set, I have a little team of reindeer in front of my ship. If you can see that. And this is what the tree missiles and the candy canes and stuff look like, and the little gift package bombs. So that's what that does. And the reindeer are... you know what? I don't want to ruin it. I'm just going to say that there's like sort of an Easter egg related to the reindeer. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not using this stuff for now. Alright. And that's enough of that for now. Put my weapons back on. Okay. Oh yeah, there's something else I wanted to show you here. Yeah, this does, I don't know if I want to replay a level or play a new one for this, but this does something funny. If I chug this... Yeah, that made a sound. And I'll show you what happens, like, if I go into a level after drinking the beer. Let me do the first level again. Yeah, so now I'm in drunk mode, basically, so the screen is going to do this the entire time. And I think there's an achievement or something tied to doing this, I can't remember. But, you know, playing at least one level while drunk. This, as far as I can tell, gives no advantage. It's purely just, you know, just you making life more difficult for yourself. Which, like in real life, when you drink too much. Yeah, please drink responsibly. Don't do this. Do not fly a heavily armed warplane after chugging, you know, beer made of fish piss. burp compilation somewhere. See, the lovely thing about this fight is that on normal there's one of these guys, and every loop after this there's going to be two of them, just to let you know. Well, squeeze a little more money out of that level, so that's neat. Okay, what have I got available for upgrades here? Missiles are as good as they're going to get. Bombs have room for improvement. Could just move that over there. Might actually want to start considering cooling. I kind of like this loadout for now, and I'm not eager to give it up. Could make the energy barrier a lot beefier. Might be time to ditch this and to start put one of these things in, see if this helps. Or I could start doing my other upgrades. Let me just get the armor and cooling fan started, just I'm also burping in real life because I've got some very delicious iced coffee here. So some of those are made. Let me ditch this and see how far I can upgrade sidearm like this. Oh wow. Okay, that's some nice DPS there. Yeah, I can pump up a fair number of things here. Don't know if I want the extra energy cost of having this like this, though. Also, the shot pattern is getting on my nerves, and I might just pop the daisy cutter back there. There. I'm not even upgrading that because I hate leaving a slot empty, but I'm not really building my strategy around like doing stuff with the rear gun right now. I don't know, should I? For the sake of keeping DPS up. Yay. Alright, whatever. I think I just locked myself out of all my other upgrades here. Good job. Yeah. But I'm pretty well equipped for right now. Now I can go to the moon colony. Oh, I love this thing, especially when it's fully upgraded. This is just obnoxious. So anyway, I started blasting. The only thing is, this is like my best gun, and I can't aim it at anything because it's constantly doing this crap. Oh, hitchhiker. Did I? Yeah, I just died. Okay, great. I wedged myself under a platform. That was smart. I kind of saw him at the last minute. Let me try to do better this time. Yeah, this is my highest DPS gun, and unfortunately, it's only hitting things by accident. So this is going to be an interesting level. Just dropping some napalm around so these guys can roast their chestnuts on an open fire. See if I can do this before I get trapped this time. That's better. Oh my god. Keep that away from me. Putting my shield up. every now and then they have that one enemy that like just sort of floats out and gets destroyed, and you're like, I wonder why that thing is even there. And then you either forget to destroy that one, or you get to a higher difficulty that you can't just kill him out of the gate, and he spams that at you. It's like, you just like had all the bullets waiting to kill you. Oh, this is bad. I need a little health. I need a lot of health. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of health. Good. Good job. Sorry about your parachutes. Oh, and gentlemanly. Can't remember if there's anything worth trying to grab up there, but I think there isn't. I think that's just there to explode. I could have popped the, what do you call it, the barrier there. That would have been smart. Is there anything up here? Or, no, there's cargo. Okay, great. Never mind. This is going to be tight. Gives me all the health. Alright. It's a truck. It's not a very good trap. Very rarely ever die to that. And I get to fight this guy. Oh look, my rear gun actually has something to hit. Okay, kind of don't want to get hit with that, thank you. Oh, no. It's one of these guys that just loves to ram you when he starts losing. Did they add stuff to this guy? Because there's parts of this fight I sort of like... Some of the stuff he's throwing at me I don't remember, or maybe I just never noticed it. Now his heart is exposed. So you can get rid of this thing before it, there we go. Yay, gold. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so the Pink Panther is back. That's nice. Do I have any gems or anything I can get yet? Whole bowstring. Okay, this is the only other device I can... Just have both device slots filled, I might just do that. I don't know. I'm really waiting to get, like, the super weapons and stuff. Oh, some other stuff I can pick up here. Let's see. Some other equipment. I can get the Carnage TV. Gives you bonus score multiplier for killing the little like troopers and jetpackers. And there's a Circulus that gives me the... Now, the drone system in this game is interesting. There's certain things like the Circulus from the first game are back, but like there's certain equipment that lets you do weird things with the drones. Like there's a device I can get later that lets you blow up all the drones that you have. Like certain weapons also count as drones. Like if you have something like the Autotron equipped, that also counts as like the Autotron turrets that are floating with you also count as drones. The rammer and the Electro-Ball count as drones. And there's a device you can get later that detonates all of them. There's also a device you can get that that clones your shots and teleports them to basically teleports copies of your shots to every drone, so you're kind of like a flying turret farm, and it's amazing and ridiculous, and you kind of need it later just because as they scale things up and start throwing tougher challenges at you, you really kind of need the firepower. It's basically the end game build. But you're not going to see that for a while. I'm just going to throw this in here just to have something to do. Maybe I'll need the health and wish I had it, so throw a Circulus in here. Only got one circle for right now. I don't know how much money I want to pump into that. I don't know. Should I upgrade this? Upgrade that pretty far without trying too hard. I mean, the Pink Panther we've seen in the previous game, I'm more interested in the new guns. There's nothing wrong with this, of course. It's a perfectly serviceable weapon. Could make these bombs a little beefier. Neither of these things could be upgraded at the moment. Wondering if ditching this for Pink Panther is worth it. Pink Panther's probably going to cost more in terms of heat, and I'm not sure I'm down for that right now, because I'm a little worried about my heat management. I can also juggle these things around to my satisfaction. Fridge is a little pointless right now, so I mean I could put it in there, just hang on to it for the extra cooling. Eventually you're going to want this slot back, and you're just going to pump this up, and the cooling fan up instead, and ditch the fridge so you can fit other things in here. Only got 7k unspent. I mean, I think I did enough right now. Oh wait, there's better missiles available. I can ditch the Incubus for the Flea Circus. And put a couple upgrades on that. That feels a little better. Alright. Okay, onward and upward. Asteroid field. Missile spam is delightful here. They did try to balance certain things like the homing and auto-tracking weapons a little better than they did in the first game. Also, auto-tracking kind of works different. Like, there are very few weapons that do any kind of, like, homing or auto-tracking, but that's because there's a gem you can add to any weapon that allows it to track. Oh, I mean, also, they do variable gravity now. If you notice, my bombs are kind of like, they were kind of floating in midair there, because, like, we're in microgravity, so they're barely falling. So it's kind of tricky to hit stuff with them unless you're using, like, mines and just letting the guys run into them. So certain bombs will be very tricky to use there. Like, something like the Autotron would be more useful here, but I don't have it. They still do the same damage if they actually hit something, of course. Also, it seems like the bombs, if they're floating there long enough, they time out. They don't just float there forever, like as far as most bombs go. Like, if I want to do the thing where I float over one of these guys and bomb him, I have to be really sneaky about it like that. Secret level. Almost missed it. That ain't matter. Target-rich environment here. That's why I'm spamming away. spams at you suddenly if you don't get rid of them right away. Okay, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. There's a lot of these guys to be dealing with at once. Uh-oh. I might actually use that whole thing if I can just get enough antimatter before I die. Yikes. Oh, hurry up, please. Oh, I made it. Didn't matter. Okay. Thought I was dying before the finish line there. Alright. So what do we have? Let's. Oh, okay, we finally got Power Blast. Yeah, this is probably not going to be the most useful thing I could have, but you know, just for the sake of not playing the whole game with the starting devices, let me just, I'll slip this back here and put Power Blast in the front. Now, Power Blast scales to your DPS. It's very expensive to upgrade for that reason, because it's basically the BFG. You know, you can just sort of, you know, wave cannon, just one-shot stuff in front of you with enough DPS, so could switch to the Discotheque, but that was never really particularly one of my favorites. Oh, I got my first gem, which is just a heat sink that I can put on whichever gun is costing me the most heat right now, which would probably be this one. So I should most likely do that. That's like my primary weapon. Also, you know, one of the things about the store in this game is that you can't just buy as many as you want of everything. You are limited as far as like what the store has in stock. You know, it's only going to have, like, per playthrough of a level, it's only going to have, you know, what it has. So you just gotta roll with that. It says upgrade is 45k, and it's not. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't have that much. All right. These are kind of high energy cost, and I don't think I'm ready for them yet until I pump cooling up. Might actually want to do that. But there's other stuff I want to show off because, you know, we're streaming here. Central heat sink also helps with the heat situation. There's an antimatter generator that if I want my antimatter to just regen instead of having to farm it, I can put this in the ship, and that can be upgraded to make it regen faster. So that's handy. I might actually, I don't know, I'm tempted to go with a, like, there's certain builds that if you put enough cooling, things get, you know, things get really unbalanced. But, well, I shouldn't say really unbalanced. I actually did a much better job of balancing just about everything. But it's, you know, you can make builds that allow nearly continuous fire. There's also, you can get, you can buy this thing which allows you to swap weapon loadouts. You can have more than one loadout available. Yes. Go to a computer, special item designed to store information about all weapons and equipment on the ship. With the press of a single button, the pilot can restore configuration of all equipped items. It tries to pull the desired items from your cargo, so if you sold some of them, it may end up with an incomplete item swap. So that's kind of, yeah, if I have the, and I can do that, yeah, and everything just flies back into place. So that's kind of neat. If you're experimenting with different builds for different levels or bosses or whatever, you can see how that would be a major advantage there. Just a little bit shy of being able to, I think I might take some inventory clutter out after all, maybe. I don't know. Oh, valuable piece of art. You can trade it. Oh, that's the cargo that I crashed into the ceiling in that one part. Fan art provided, Mateusz Wisniewski. Excerpt from video review by Sir Kurbix Bulbatroy. This masterpiece by unknown artist of the late quadro-holographic era is boldly presenting juxtaposition of fragile mortality standing against immortal evil, the eternal heroic struggle of a man fighting against a machine, or a washing machine. It's like the reference to the end boss of the first game. And I can view it. This is basically like, this was on the box art of the original, like, way back in the day, first retail release of the game overseas, I believe. And they have stuff like the Zeppelin and the ship from Jets and Guns 1, and the washing machine boss, the Federal Hero guy in the tally screen, the cool pilot chick. Like, I think this is one of the pilot profiles you can pick. You know, the cargo crate. It's kind of neat. Like, they pack so much stuff into here. Alright. Yes, cute that they slip stuff like this into the game, even if we don't get as much of, like, the comic art and stuff as we got in the first game, but it's nice that they, you know, they kind of threw us a bone there. I think, honestly, ditching this fridge for the antimatter generator is probably my best use of this slot right now. Because running short of antimatter would suck at the wrong moment. And I have a habit of wasting that at the worst possible time. And armor and cooling are just generally wonderful things to have, so... Alright. I spent my monies. Can we go home now? Waterworld, another one of my favorite, not so favorite levels. I'm not even reading half of this stuff because I don't remember it from, like, the first time I played through this. I missed the comic book pages, but it's nice at least they try to tell us sort of what's going on. So these drones will, like, block shots and damage things that run into them. And this is another fast-scrolling level, kind of like Skyway Alpha, where you're going to be dodging the scenery as much as dodging the enemy. So, if you find that infuriating, that's understandable. Get bombed. I know that some of these things spam lasers at you that are really damaging. But I use the health restore there. So that gadget came in handy after all. And that was the power shot there. Power blast. That saved me a bit of trouble. That enemy, that snake popped up in, like, the perfect position for it. Oh, I remember this part being infuriating. Trying to kill this thing without dying in this part is really tricky, and there's like some kind of achievement or something for that, I think. sneaking by with like the bare minimum on health right now. And I have nothing to hit this guy with because I have like no homing weapons or turrets on me. Stop, 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 stop. You're all terrible people, go away. Damn it. Stop hitting me with things. Oh, I'm gonna... if my antimatter regen's just enough, I gotta try and... Oh, got barely enough health to get by here. Don't catch those, they're bullets, they're not items. The way some of this stuff lazily floats around is a little deceptive. Okay. So I'm up at this boss now. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I'm probably going to die to this guy, but I at least made it to the checkpoint, so my future attempts won't be too awful. Also, one of the things you notice that, like, the enemies do throw homing missiles at you, and unfortunately, unlike the first game, your weapons do not hit them by default. Like, if you notice, like, they're flying right through my sidearm shots without that even connecting with them. But you can buy a gem for that for any gun later that allows it to hit. It's called Missile Buster that does allow you to hit missiles, so it'll allow that weapon to connect with missiles. So you can try to shoot them down before they hit you. I'm just going to use it for health right now because I don't think the blast is going to hit anything useful. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble keeping up here. This is going to be this might be the first boss struggle of the game, of the run here. Yeah. All right. Also, everything on this depends on hitting weak points, and I have a gun that just likes to flail around all over the place. Once you have Missile Buster, this is a lot more manageable. Also, this might be a place where I'm going to regret not having that energy shield. Although I don't like keeping that for the whole game with this kind of cheese. Let me see if I can at least get one of these things out of here so I have some room to move. Yeah, I think I need to play more offense here. I can't let those things shoot at me all day. In case you're worried about how frustrating this part is, don't worry, the next part is worse. Oh, crap. I think the geyser of water it makes when it does that, dive thing can also kill you, so that's another thing to look out for. And now we have all this flak it's tossing at me. Ow, not the laser, the face. Not the face lasers. Come on. Alright, now these stupid missiles, which I can outfox. Oh, that sucked. That was completely avoidable damage. Double rainbow! What does it mean? Yeah. We're doing this again, I know. I hope this isn't like the invulnerability glitch thing that it's not gonna die properly. But I think the last update they ever published for the game claims to have fixed that, so I'm gonna take them at their word. That's a bug they were trying to squash basically forever. I'm gonna take health because I can't afford to make any more mistakes here. Yeah, there's nothing to shoot at that moment. And I missed him completely with the napalm. He's just gonna do this crap again. That's gonna... This isn't the biggest threat he has. Circulus helps a little bit. There we go. Took you long enough. Oh, hey. Welcome in, Jertza. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate. Yes, this game does rock. In fact, I appreciate you coming to the channel. Thank you very much for joining us. So I'm tending to finish like just the first loop of the game and do just the first normal mode loop just to show people what this is like, basically. Because it's cute and it's worth picking up on sale if you're into this sort of thing. It's very very old school scrolling shooter goodness. Let me just head on to the next level. I'm just warning everyone in advance that, like, you know, my builds are going to be probably pointless and ridiculous and will make everyone yell at me. So more like trying to be interesting at the moment than like trying to be efficient. Get the comet. Oh, I could upgrade my missile. I get super killer. I get manic miner. I like manic miner. Manic miner is a good like cover your flanks kind of weapon. I'm trying to show people the new weapons and not just do the ones that were in the previous game now. I think I might... I can get another heat sink. I should, probably. Especially if I'm going to run this. Could swap this out for Cauldron, but I'm kind of happy with this right now. I don't know. I can get this, which is kind of like the Autotron, which will put a little gun drone under my ship when I drop it. Which I think you don't even have to manually drop them. I think just having this installed, it just sort of appears there automatically. In this one. Also, remember, like, this loadout thing I bought before? One of the potential devices I could get if I wanted one right now would be the loadout swapper, which allows you to do that in flight instead of just in the store. So you could potentially switch between two loadouts, you know, in the middle of the game, which is kind of neat. I think there was something like that in the first game as well, although I never really used it. There's the power shield, which blocks damage. You know, it does what it says on the tin. There's a certain point where, like, I strongly recommend against, like, sinking too much into armor and stuff in the early game, because you end up basically just being like a big, like, flying blanket that can't actually kill anything because you didn't put enough money in DPS. But you do eventually want to upgrade this, because you'll just get to the point where stuff just starts one-shotting you all the time if you don't. But that's generally after your guns are taken care of. You're like, do I have anything left over to push this up? I might already kind of be pushing my limits there, to be honest. Antimatter well, you know, is the shield or my antimatter generator better right now? Because really, my gadgets are not really so great right now that they're like saving the day that often. Like when I get something later, like the Bounce X or whatever, this is going to be amazing. But right now, it's like I could probably might actually be better off with the Power Shield. It's kind of like the same thing as armor, though. It's like if you just invest in nothing but armor and shields, you end up not being able to take anything down before it leaves the screen. Not really doing a drone build yet, so I don't know if I need this. Well, I'm going to ditch Flea Circus because I have a new missile available, which is the Comet, which is kind of like these like wavy missiles like that. And also, you know, it's a nice boost to DPS without killing my heating system, my cooling system. Pump up Manic Miner a bit. I know this build is probably awful, and I don't care. I'm just having a lot of fun right now. There, alright. I put the token amount into armor just to say I did it. Okay. Oh, going to Gigantaria, this is a cool level. Did I miss any... Yeah, I did miss a secret level. There's the cloning lab. I never did the cloning lab. Okay, well, let's do the cloning lab. I'm going to be leaving all this potential wreckage on the table here. Why is this not dying? That's bad. That's a bad sign. This build is not not as great as I thought it was, but we'll see if we can make it work. Or at least try to get through there without dying too much. Ending up putting up all my antimatter into health right now. Let me just slip through that instead of trying to kill it. I think I might have guns there. Oh, how did that, like, basically do nothing? Come on. See, I'm not bringing Manic Miner into play often enough. I need to start hovering over stuff so I can kill it with this. There's also there's something in here that's a giant pain in the ass to get, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Oh, it's just the secret. I was waiting, like, wasn't there like a painting or something hidden in a little passage like this somewhere in the game? I don't remember. If there is, I guess I missed it. Have fun with that. I'm just gonna continuously spam napalm until it hits something. Okay, well, he's managed to squeak through there. It's a nice bit of money to upgrade things. I think these might have outlived their usefulness. I don't know. I like these guns, but I think that I probably need to start upgrading. What do I have available? Could put Super Killer and Pink Panther, I guess. I think these both have more potential for upgrades than the other stuff did. Yeah, I kind of can't really follow my, like, well, I could, but I mean, the first level already makes you use two of the same gun, and that's ordinarily a rule. I try to avoid doing that as a rule, but in this, like, you know, the certain builds kind of, I try to avoid as much as possible, but for certain builds you might, you know, it might at least be useful to have 2 of the same gem when they're only giving you the same gem over and over again at the store. And you can't really get any others yet. I need this on the Pink Panther more than the other one. That's just a few bucks shy of an upgrade. I'm not, like, I don't want to switch to the gunbot just yet because I think I might need it. I might need actual bombs more. Even though I do have Manic Miner to try to cover that. So, maybe. Skywalker Hypergun is available, but that's also something that really sucks up all of your heating capacity, your cooling capacity. Could upgrade this a little bit. Yeah, okay, that just regens antimatter a little bit faster now. Onto Gigantaria. Not doing too bad on heat now. Between the gems and like my multiple cooling devices, I can spam this for quite a bit before I start overheating. It doesn't take that long to cool off either. The wrong button, I was going to blast that. There was a time when I was working on my control configuration for this when I couldn't decide which side button was device 1 and which one was device 2, and now I can get confused all the time. I haven't played this in a bit. It is definitely getting harder to take stuff down. I mean, I'm also kind of using like a, ridiculous gonzo build here, but there we go. Also, I should upgrade that device if I'm going to be using it that much. I'm missing a few targets. Some I'm just having to let it slide because I can't go chase them with the amount of DPS I have right now. It's just not that I don't have enough DPS, it's just that it's hard to bring all of it to bear in the right capacity there. I just got a little score multiplier from the Carnage DE for blowing up little infantry dudes. Gonna be curious to see how much trouble I have taking down this guy. Look at the little outhouse there. That's adorable. And Dragon Contact kills him. This is usually a short fight at this level, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I won't botch this too badly. Uh-oh. Can we do it? Can I look through this? Alright, there we go. For a second I thought that was me. Oh yeah, I've done all the secret levels. I mean, I've pretty much done all the secrets in this one, but thanks for letting me know. I mean, like the original game, they did put secret levels in here. One of the nice things they did is that space race thing they put as a secret level now, so that you don't have to do it every loop. Because a lot of people just found that incredibly frustrating for some reason. I really didn't. Well, I mean, this one is actually a little frustrating for me. The new one, they really made it a little more hardcore in some regards. But at least you can dodge it now because you don't have to do it. Alright, this is what I wanted. This is the Missile Buster gem, which I can add to like this weapon over here to I could also get the Black Fist Mortar, that's nice. You know, I'm wondering how much good having this is doing me, but I'm gonna... Well, I could swap this out. I mean, you've basically seen what this does, so I'm just gonna swap the JC Superstar into there. This is a little less, like... They made this a lot less impressive from the first game. It's, like, very short range, and it only does, like, the 8-way shot there. Like, you know, it doesn't do that cool, like, shower of, like, little throwing stars like the original one did. I mean, it's pretty nice with the upgrade, though. My Power Blast is not going to be upgradable like that for a long time. This is one that, like, this is nice, but I think it's, like, a little, for some builds, this is kind of, like, really, OP. That you just basically just, you can pop this and ignore cooling for a few seconds. That cooling just doesn't matter at all. Oh, this is expensive to upgrade, too. Oh, most of the devices seem to be pretty expensive to upgrade. Scavenger device gives enemies a chance to drop an armor shard. Let's see. Nothing else too amazingly interesting right now. Could upgrade the Circulus a little bit. I don't have anything that does anything fun with drones yet, though. That comes later. I think I do need to upgrade, like, one of these guns at least. It's got to get swapped out because it's not... Some of them are not keeping up. Honestly, this thing might be the first one to go. I'll see what the Black Fist Mortar wants to do for me. Since that just became available. This was just like a cannonball launcher, basically, in the first game, and now it's, they just gave it the cute little, you know, ice theme feature that, like, you know, it's shooting frozen cannonballs that, like, you know, do ice damage or something, but, you know, it doesn't seem to really make much difference as far as how it actually works, except that they're explaining why it has, like, a low heat cost. Since this doesn't really need a heat sink, I'm just going to keep the Missile Buster on this one, so that works out. Should I sell a few of these to get... Let me just pop off a few of these things so I can... I think I can just barely afford one more upgrade if I do this. Yeah, There we go. Don't have to worry about upgrading this again. Alright. I've run worse builds. Let's go. And, oh, yeah, this is that race level. I might just do it once just to show you what it looks like, because, otherwise I'd be, like, I don't want to skip the secret levels. I want this to, like, show everything that's in the game. I don't know. I kind of like the original one better. I mean, I can see what they did with this was different. I mean, it's cool and different in some ways. They give you this, like, little red trail to follow, at least, so that's kind of helpful. But there's more, like, you know, then they throw this weird stuff at you with, like, the slamming hydraulic doors and stuff. And that that's kind of annoying to me a little bit, in ways that the original one was not. Yeah, I died there. In case you're wondering what I died from missing the gates. You have to hit all of these purple beams with your ship. Hopefully without hitting too much of everything else and taking collision damage. Because everything else in this level more or less wants to crush you. The one in the original game was, like, probably the most hated level in the entire game for some reason, and I felt kind of guilty because I never had that much trouble with it, and I'm like, you know, I feel bad for what you guys are going through. It sounds terrible, but I don't understand how you're screwing this up. Oh, darn it. See, that pushed me out of the way. Let me try doing this again. I've done this before. It's just going to take a few tries for me to remember the path. Also, I'm sorry if I'm missing anything in chat, because this is one like where I can't take my eyeball. This is a game where I can't take my eyes off things for very long, so it doesn't really give a lot of breathers except the shop screen. Especially not on this level. Now, let me see if I can avoid getting whacked by whatever shoved me out of the way the first time. I'm wondering if following these dots actually helps, or if they're just there to punk me. Something's gonna try to ram me away from these things at any second. Gotta be. They would never let me out this easy. See, this is the part where it's like the way these things are spaced kind of fools your eyes into seeing where, like, trying to see where the actual navigable path is. Oh yeah, this is see now they're pulling out the Super Mario bullshit here. Come on, guys. All right, did I make it? Oh, looks like I made it. Yeah, alright. Yeah, so I made it through the... Nothing to see here? Yeah. I missed a bonus somewhere. Interesting. I don't even know what the bonuses looked like. I couldn't even tell I was picking anything up, but, okay. Alright, so that was the dreaded, racing level. Got a few more bucks. We'll throw it into that. Alright. You know, since my cooling is more or less under control, I'd actually maybe rather put Missile Buster on more things if their heat cost isn't too absurd to begin with. Because that becomes helpful later on. Although the best thing later is that getting the gem combiner that allows you to put all these 3 gem slots into the center weapon slot. You can channel them all into that, and then you can also get Blast Projector and channel that, like, triple enhanced weapon to all your drones, and that's when the, you know, that's that's when the firepower really starts to get ridiculous. Alright. Let me see what's next. I don't want to just futz around the menu screen all day here. I don't know. Should I put Missile Buster on this? I'm gonna take a risk and get another Missile Buster. There. Hope the heat cost isn't too bad. Onward. Oh yeah, Beer Empire. Yeah, I might really need this here. Like, running into the Beer Empire is basically your wake-up call in the first game that, like, if your build wasn't that great, this is where you find out. They also really made some huge balance adjustments to that in the various versions of the first game because it was originally a little too hardcore. And you had to, usually had to dodge almost all the targets to just survive. We don't seem to be having too much trouble right now. I mean, the superstar is keeping away anything that gets too close, if it's small enough. So that's helpful. Oh yeah, we're doing alright. Also, my heat isn't even that much of a problem. Even without the heat gem. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That would have been perfect if I hit him with that power blast, but I got him anyway. Oh, there's like an alternate path up here, but I missed it. I forget what's in there. Hitchhiker. Alright, this loadout's a little more practical than I thought it was going to be. For right now, anyway. Wonder what this does. There used to be a lot of bugs related to this boss that I think they have mostly dealt with. So thank goodness for that. There were various phases where it could get stuck in the next phase when it become vulnerable properly. It took him a few tries to squash those glitches. Wow, really? Forgot about these attacks. See, I gotta pop these 3 bottles and then do something with this stuff before it retracts. I gotta try and get rid of these guys one at a time here. I don't really have a rear gun except for the superstar, so I gotta get close. I don't have anything that can turn or whatever to drag them. I used to be able to do that in one shot there, but more than one this time, I think. Okay. Now the real boss comes out. And they're gonna do stuff like this to me. So that's another place where having the energy shield would be a nice thing. Stop flapping your sausage at me. Just buy me a beer first. Gotta kill that track that it's sliding around on. It's one of the targets I gotta get rid of. Honestly, having the antimatter generator is a lot more practical than trying to actually manage my antimatter properly. Sorry if that's cheesy. Oh, these friggin' pretzels. Let's see, beer and pretzels kind of game today. Alright. I almost made it except for that one mistake. Oof. I forgot that the spinning lasers were coming back out. If there's two things that this game loves, it's spinning and lasers. There we go. Just make that phase a lot shorter. Show these guys the door again. See if I can one-shot these guys with the antimatter down here. Nice. That's what I like to see. I need to start moving up toward here as soon as I see that coming out so that I have room to rotate. I think the Circulus is helping a little bit with blocking that, but not as much as I'd like. Got surprisingly most of those pretzels destroyed before they hit me. That bouncing sausage makes me happy for some reason. More pretzels. Looks like the boss has had a little too much. There we go. That's how it's done. And let's see what we got. Oh, here's old classic. One of our old favorites here, the homing missiles. If you don't jump on these, it's like usually a mistake. Should I start swapping bombs out? I mean, the Cauldron is probably a little more practical. You get a really great bomb later that's like an it's like an acid bomb. Like it makes like little acid clouds that drop acid rain on your enemies. But that's I think one of the later game weapons. And then you get an even better version that does that, and also, you know, they're thunder clouds and they do chain lightning at enemies. Because you have one of the new mechanics they introduced is that there are certain weapons that are chain lightning generators, so like the lightning can jump from the first target it hits to like the next nearest target and so on and so forth. Get the... You know, I've never had that much luck with the laser because it usually just eats too much heat for my liking. If they have another Missile Buster gem available, I think I'm gonna pop that onto one of my other guys because my heating situation is under control for the most part. I'll leave that on the Panther and put this here. There's the Shrinker, which like basically just makes your entire ship smaller, but you know, but then it also takes half your DPS, so that's a little disappointing. Just like this, there's some devices that are kind of cool because they're just sort of like a different playstyle unlocker type of thing. Nanomachines healing over time on your ship. Oh, that's a big upgrade right now. Trying to see what I could replace with something better. I think I could swap Pink Panther out for Tornado. It's a little more DPS, but not so much you'd notice. I don't know. Where should I put my other... rest of my money here? I could max out some of these maybe. Well, let me upgrade the homing missile first, see how much I have left after that. Not as much as I would think. I forget what Cauldron does in this version. I mean, I know exactly what it does in the previous version. You know what, I'm just going to try and upgrade some of this stuff. Yeah, alright. I think this is enough of everything for right now. I'm going to go into the level with this. Quantum Base. This is a really cool level, and I'm looking forward to showing it to you. This starts out normal enough. It gets very trippy. Might be a little OP for this level so far. Gets nastier later though. Now, if you look in that cool scrolling parallax background out there, you might notice that little like dark sun that sort of appeared in the corner there. Yeah, that's going to become important. This is another funky gravity level because apparently we're falling into a black hole or something. Not usually good news. see my bombs are falling slower and everything now. Hitchhiker. I'm sure the hitchhiker is very glad that he's not staying here. This place is not long for this world. I'm also amazed that all these guys are still sticking around to shoot at me, so they're just running like hell at this rate. They must get really good benefits. Is that an outhouse? I love those little details. This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are currently unfolding. I'm not even having to use half my stuff right now. Oh, I forget something bad's coming up here. Gravity collapses. Yeah, this is your pilot. We're experiencing a temporary failure of the universe. Its basic laws of physics. Alright, so that was fun. Oh, here's where the stuff starts getting wacky. There's certain weapons in here that give you a chance to do different damage types for like damage over time or something, and I don't know what that actually. I mean, it's how actually useful it is. I don't know. I think they're trying to they're trying to introduce more sort of Diablo-like mechanics into this, and I mean, with mixed results. I mean, I kind of could do without some of it, but it's a clever idea, though. It's a cute idea, so I got to give them credit for that. I might stick with the homing missiles ordinarily, but I think I'm going to maybe sell these and get this Red Mamba. Like, these are sort of like sneaky missiles here. There's also a new bomb available. Still not much in the way of devices because this is only the first run. I do not like the way the rotary cage works this time, because it is not, you only have one button per device, so you just have to cycle through 4 different angles. You know, so like when you're trying to cycle it all the way back or halfway back and you're trying to get it to the front again, you have to carefully click it the exact number of times. And it's a little blah, and it's not my favorite thing right now. You know, also we didn't get the Remcon back at all, so that's also a little disappointing. There was only so much they could pack into one game, considering what they were up against as far as development schedule and so on. But they did pack a lot of other cool ideas into this, like, for example, I have this thing that basically makes whatever bomb I'm using whatever bomb I'm using will drop mini mines now. That, like, they're like extra, you know, sort of makes your bomb is into, you know, adds like a sort of a cluster bomb, like secondary effects to your regular bomb, so that these things pop out of it and roll around on the ground and explode. You know, they're tied to the bomb DPS. So that's kind of clever. And the other clever thing about that is that there's another device you get later another equipment you get later. I keep confusing equipment and device here. The terms matter. But there's something you get that makes the shell casings into bombs, basically, and the mini mines work with the shell grenadier, that thing that makes like your shell casings explode. So your shell casings like falling out of your bullet weapons, like the super killer, will, like, you know, they'll hit the ground, or they'll hit ground targets and explode, and then mini mines will pop out of. If you also have the mini mines will pop out of them because they count as bombs. So that'll do extra damage. You know, like the shell grenadier thing already scales to like whatever gun it came out of, basically, I think. But that was, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, there's a lot of weird stuff you can combine and experiment with in here. And that's really what makes this delightful in a lot of ways. Now, I'm going to kill one of these, well, actually, let me get rid of this. Put my missile busters up here. I'm going to get this is my first auto tracker gem, so I can now, I'm going to put a gun in the back slot and then use the tracker to make it hit things. Let me get one let me put a gun back there that you can actually see so that, yeah, so that we can see which way it's shooting. And in the front I could put the Van Buren laser, I think. And I'll upgrade these. Excuse me. Clicked off it by mistake. Put these missiles up here. Get that an upgrade. Alright. I like the way this is turning out so far. The Toxicant cannon, like, this works kind of like the Vulcan from the first game, that it shoots, like, the bullets are invisible, so you can't really see the stream, but it's but, you know, still, other than that, it sort of works like every other gun, really. Experimental weapon designed to trigger corrosive processes and targets via a special type of radiation. Gun fires no visible shots, only invisible ray of energy. The effect is observable on target, which promptly starts to melt under the influence of the weapon's radiation. So this has a 3% chance to inflict, like, an acid damage over time. Which will do, you know, and there's also, like, there are also weapons that inflict, there's also fire-type weapons, and they inflict, you know, fire damage over time. Which really doesn't, like, it doesn't seem to matter that much, as far as I can tell. I don't know if it helps during certain boss encounters. I never really ran with it to try to maximize things like the heat chance. There's also gems you can put on other weapons to give them, that you can get later to make any of them, like, have a fire chance or an acid chance. Or to, like, or for, like, enemies destroyed with them to shoot chain lightning at other enemies. So that's stuff that, like, you'll start to see, have more stuff to play with on extra loops after you've finished the first loop. So, holographic space. I forget how bad this one is. Should I worry about my loadout? I think we're probably going to manage. I think I might get a different bomb, and I think I'm going to need these missiles more than I'm going to need that bomb maxed out. And let me get the new bomb just to show it off. It's not a really new, it's the Black Friday from the previous game. It works more or less the same way. Okay, let's run with that. Holographic space. Oh wow, I like that. Yeah, this is a very sort of R-type sort of environment level. Like, I remember there's one level in R-type that was just like, all like, you know, like weird rays of energies, like an 80s, like, New Wave album cover or something. So, actually, I think they call it Vaporwave now or whatever. Like, I don't really keep up on this sorts of things. Yeah, but this is pretty funny looking, to say the least. Also, this is why, you know, that warning I put for flashing lights and whatever, it's like, yeah, this game is really in love with the fireworks. You know, and the whole industrial light magic sort of deal. So I just want to warn people going in, because, you know, some people just find it annoying, or, you know, but also some people actually have, you know, health conditions that, like, you know, it's actually a problem for them. That, you know, if you have, like, migraines or, like, certain kinds of migraines, certain kinds of epilepsy, etc., and so on, you know, this could be a real problem. I want to put that in the title just for the sake of being neighborly. They tried to. Yeah, so right now I'm kind of crushing everything because this is normal. Once I get to hard, I'm not going to get away with this nonsense. As it is, even on normal, a few bosses have slapped me around a little bit, so... You know, don't get to thinking this game is easy. It's not. This game is unapologetically difficult on later loops. They're very old school in that way. Right now I'm spreading so much firepower around that, like, it's not really, almost doesn't matter what they throw at me, but there we go. Let's get rid of, hey, what did I say about the lasers? Also, this is or was a boss. It's already not doing too well against me. It doesn't help it that my Ultra is ready damn near continuously. Some health there because I wasn't sure what I was doing there for a second. Alright. And another funny missile I can show off. Another funny bomb I can show off. Let's get rid of that. The Travolta, which is a new one, and the Rodeo, which is a returning favorite. Now let's see what money I have for other stuff. Buzzsaw improves collision damage of all your drones. Stingray Defender shoots a mini rocket whenever your ship gets hit. That's a little tempting. There's some builds with the Stingray Defender that, because this is another one that's like it's tied to your total DPS, so, you know, I think they nerfed that at some point, but it gets, like, how often it can shoot the missile, like, not every hit. That's sort of a cooldown now. This will add a burning effect to one of your weapons, but also, you know, it also increases the weapon's heating. Oh, I can get zombie blues now. Should I? Probably should. Fan Viewer and Laser was nice, but this is just a really cool thing to have right now. Yeah, I think I'm going for this. this does the same thing it does in the first game. It launches little phantom flying skulls that seek out your enemies. So it's basically a homing missile gun. The rammer is like the first game, basically is what it does in the first game, except, since we have all this fun stuff we can do with drones now, keep in mind that the rammer and the electro ball, which we'll see later, which is also returning from the first game, count as drones. So if you have a device that allows you to do fun stuff with drones, that's one of the drones that you can do fun stuff with. Oh, I am so close to having my armor finished. Why don't I just pop a few, sell a few of these duckies or something? I'm sorry, the duckies are cute, but I'd like to just get this upgrade over with. Also, my inventory is getting cluttered as fuck right now. For that matter, I don't care about the medals, at all. I've done, my full medals run for the achievement and whatever, so these can all go choke. Just dropping these off at Goodwill. Alright. There we go. 97 whole bucks left. Or Zagrum bucks or whatever it is. I don't know. Bitcoin, wampum, gil, septums, who the fuck knows. Insectoid colony. Let's do that next. I think this loadout will manage. Okay, onward to victory. Or something. This was another nice, another really distinctive level in the first game. Zombie Blues is really nice. Between that and the rodeo missile circling around me, not a lot of stuff is getting anywhere near me without getting hit at least once. And that's what these bombs do. They shoot out little sparkly plasma balls when they, shower of ricocheting, lightning balls when they burst. They also give you a lot of antimatter here. Kind of gonna need it for later though. I should be using the bombs more, I keep forgetting. I could basically just lean on them at this point. Just to add a little more chaos to the screen. Once we pop this little science experiment here, the real boss comes out. This is another one that had an invulnerability bug, which was a real problem, which they finally tracked down. My bombs are also leaving mini mines everywhere. That's like those little like soccer balls you see bouncing around there. Those are additional bombs coming out of my bombs. There we go. My final form. Excuse me, could you please stop lasering my face? I think I need to hit this from the back at some point. Oh, never mind. Alrighty then. That was fast. Here we go. Yeah, this is where the drones start getting interesting. I can get the Kaboom device, which detonates all of my drones and scales to my DPS. I think I might prefer this over the Power Blast. Yeah, I'm actually liking that idea. Power Blast isn't bad either, though. I was wondering if I should have the hull boost thing to fall back on, but I haven't really upgraded that. Let me see what I got here. And as far as other stuff I have available, oh, I have Swarm available now. Goes nice with the zombie blues. This is another homing weapon, and this is a chance to acid. This is returning from the first game, except that now it's a missile instead of a gun. So now it takes up your missile slot instead. Damage booster, improves the power weapon, but weakens the hull for every one of these you have. Another auto tracker. You know, auto tracking builds get very ridiculous very quickly, and I'm all about that right now, actually, so. But then again, I like having that missile busting potential for when they start throwing homing missiles at you. The Vulcan is available now. This is the Vulcan Disintegrator, works like it did in the first game, more or less. Well, my lowest DPS weapon right now is this. Maybe I should take that out and put something else in. That's not what I meant to do. I double-clicked. If I can only get it with one upgrade, is it still worth it? I guess we could find out. See, I don't want to make everything auto-track because that can actually come back to bite you. Because you get into situations where you have to tunnel through a wall, or you have to hit some specific part of a boss instead of like shooting center mass at it, and all your guns want to do is just track the wrong thing. So you got to be careful with that. I think putting it on one wouldn't be harmful, though. I'm gonna see how that goes. What do I have that could use another upgrade? I'm not close enough to having anything worth selling that would actually get me there, right? Yeah, I guess not. Anything different for bombs? Get the Giga Blaster. I'm just gonna sell this for right now, but well, then if I get this, then there's no point in having the mini mines, so I might want to swap that out for something else. Actually, I don't know about that. I've already got 4 drones circling me. I don't know how much difference one more makes. Same thing with the rammer. I don't know if I want to switch to the rammer yet. My usually endgame build, once I start getting like the gem combiner and the blast projector, is that I'll put an electro ball and a rammer, and then just use the central gun, like to to power all shoot from all my drones at once. And the rear gun I'll just have on the manual aim thing that you can control which way just in case I need to hit something that the auto trackers aren't hitting. And I'll usually have the gems combined as like auto track, missile buster, and whatever else seems to be handy at the moment. Usually the shock gem that makes lightning come out of destroyed targets. That tends to be a popular choice there. Okay. Got 200k, I can't really use that much, except for play. Do I even still need this thing? I might actually just leave this out for now, so I can pop another upgrade on this. I mean, just not to have nothing, I could just put the total cooler in there, Even if it only works for 8 seconds, it could be worth something to save my butt later run here. Okay, let's go. Necrodroid HQ. This is near the end of the game here. We're getting there. I mean, I shouldn't say near the end of the game because you can loot this basically indefinitely. Oh, whoops. Star Wars reference. I have the high ground. And that was the balloon going off. It's a nice area effect. Basically, the explosions are centered on your drones, is how I understand it to work. So anything with a certain distance of at least one of your drones gets hit. And it's nice because it's like an instantaneous punch over an area that you don't have to wait for the shots to ricochet into something or whatever, like with the Bounce X. Like if you need to get rid of a swarm of nearby enemies right now, it would be very helpful. I'm so overpowered right now that I'm just kind of bullying these guys out. Again, this is the normal loop. Once you get to the hard loops and Nightmare and so on, these days are over at that point. My super killer with the auto track seems to love shooting everything except what I'm worried about right now. Auto track can be very, very efficient and very, very helpful, and then sometimes it's not. Alright. See, this gives you the ability to change distance of the drones if you want to. Not really something I'm interested in, but it lets you, like, sort of push them out or pull them in to get a different pattern. See if any other weapons have opened up here. I can get the Phoenix Missile. You know, this is one of the nice things that, Phoenix Missile was utter crap in the first game. It was really useless, and in this, like, they kind of made it... I mean, it's very... Like, it just does... It's kind of like in Star Gunner when you put, start the game and put the plasma bomb in the top and bottom. It's like in just run around checking the bombs and everything. It's kind of what it's like. It does them... It launches, missiles in a V pattern, like, you know, like one up and one down. But they, you know, that arc into the, you know, arc toward the ground with, gravity. And gives you decent DPS against the ground targets, and also just anything that happens to sort of, you know, run up in front of you while you're doing this. So you can also, like, you can use the bombs on the gunships and stuff, or the larger, slower vessels. You know, this could also potentially be helpful against that, I would guess. I like using it just because this thing kind of, like, finally redeemed itself in the second game, that it's actually kind of useful. If I have anything... Do I have anything here that would help other than... I mean, I could take the Kaboom and the Power Blast. Just not that interested in the Total Cooler, because I've already got so many cooling devices that I don't feel like it's bringing much to the table. Let me put Power Blast back in here. Upgrade my mini mines to the last level, upgrade that to the last level, and I think we're well enough equipped right now. Zombie Blues is... Oh, I can get one of these things. This is also part of a set. The Kaiser Franz is part of the... which is returning from the first game. There's going to be another Kaiser cannon type thing later, that if you have both of them, it adds a second, like, pair of cannons on a turret that, like, rotate around your ship and auto-track things. So that's really nice. I'm not going to be able to get both of those guns right now, I think, though. Let me see what I can do. What's lowest DPS at the moment? I'm just going to put this to the auto track, and I'm going to let put the cannon up front here. Upgrade that a wee bit. It's got a lot of upgrades to go, but I don't know. Let me maybe swap out for a cheaper bomb here. I think I'd rather have the DPS up here. What can I get for a bomb that's fill the gap here? Haven't used Monkey Maniac this run yet. Oh, nice. Alright, that works out well. Okay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're headed for the final boss. So we'll see how that works out. I just want to have at least one, like, straight shooting cannon that's not, you know, in case I hit something specific instead of just, you know, addressing all my shots to whom they may concern. Invasion Battleship. This is the final boss. The final offensive. The enemy's trying to build a blah blah blah. Who cares? Thank you. is your classic type of, like, battleship raid level. The ramming, though. Nothing this big should be able to just, like, juke that fast. Oh, I hit the wrong one. I wanted to use Power Blast there. Forgot I moved that around. Alright, come on. Wow. Alright, I think my Ultra got eaten by something here. Those missiles are huge. So I'm going to be flying around this whole thing, just blasting bits off of it for a long time before we actually get to the core. That was a mistake. I don't know why the Power Blast feels like it's not hitting them. It seems like it hits their projectiles first. Alright, that's helpful. Please have that armor. Thanks. I'm gonna need it. This is going all kinds of poorly right now. Not sure if I was ready as I thought I was. Okay, just stop with that already. Come on. There. Did an amazing job on this overall, I just gotta say. Everything about this feels worth it. All right. And, alright, let you watch the closing credits while I go check on something. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. So this is where we continue on the higher difficulty or stay on the same one. So I'm going to go to continue on to the higher one. And then we're back at the first level, and we can, yeah. Oh, I can get the shell grenadier now. That's nice. I might ditch one of these things for it. I'm gonna take a risk and ditch the antimatter generator. This bizarre invention of eco-fascistic terror group Happy Forest Mafia turns empty shells into explosive, unstable matter. It's one of their attempts to minimize waste production on their battleships. Their other notable tech includes weaponized engine exhaust and crew poop. So this turns empty bullet shells into mini bombs, and the mini mines also works with that. So that's a lovely thing to have if you're using bullet weapons. The thing is like, I actually remember that was the one really notable bug report that I put in the, when I was doing the early access, was that the, like, which weapons were ejecting shell casings, like, didn't make sense for a while in some of the early builds. And after I pointed it out, they went over all the weapons and corrected it, and I was very happy that they fixed that, because I really like this gadget. I just wanted it to sort of like make sense appropriately for what it was doing. Oh, now you can get like the acid cloud bomb, which is another really good thing to have. There's a time ring. Like, this is basically for really short range weapons to make the shots not decay as fast, so you can kind of like double the range on them that way. There's like, this is one of the chain lightning generator type weapons. These can be very powerful. I can get the electro ball and the rammer now. See, like, what I would do ordinarily, actually, can I even do this? I don't know. Let me swap some things around for a minute to show you something. I'll just pop this in here for now, just for the sake of demonstration purposes, but if I had that blast projector later, what I would be doing is I would put one of these here, and I'd put the ram. Is the rammer still available? Where did it go? I didn't pick one up last time, so I guess it's not here for some stupid reason. Alright, well, never mind that plan then. But yeah, I'd put the electro ball and the rammer like here and here, and all the gems would be feeding the middle weapon, which would be blast projecting to the drone. So basically, this gun would be shooting out of here and here also. And then the rear weapon. There's an auto track gem, and there's also a different gem that lets you aim with either, if you're using game padding with the other stick, or if you're using mouse, like you can, like basically it gives you a little crosshair that floats in front of your ship, and you can rotate it around. You can rotate it around the ship with either the stick or just by moving the ship around with the mouse. Like if you're using mouse control, it'll just point whichever direction the ship recently moved, and you can use it to manually aim at any angle instead of relying on the auto aim, which for certain bosses is really a lifesaver, because your auto aim will want to hit something other than what you're trying to hit, you know, the part that you're trying to shoot off to unlock the next phase. So what would I put up here? Like, I could put the Kaiser Franz here, and I could eventually get like the other, I forget what the other, I think the Kaiser Leopold is what the other one is called. But you can put Kaiser Franz here and Kaiser Leopold here, and then you get the turret, that, like auto track turret that circles your ship. And there's, you know, there's just all sorts of fun stuff to unlock here. I might just move this down here for now. Yeah, so it's a lot of build options, and I could show you that mini game one more time if I wanted to do this stupid thing. Yeah, which I'm terrible at. It's what usually happens. Then you get this, which you just have to, which you sell for nothing because you ruined it. And I get these. This device here is the ship flipper, which you can make the ship flip backwards. I'll actually get rid of this. I'll put Kaboom here. And I like this because you can, if you're not running on a completely like auto track and whatever builds, like you can use this to flip your main guns backwards, so that like the ship just flips up, like just sort of does a loop, like it, you know, flips upside down, and like so that everything is pointing to the left instead of the right. And so for some boss encounters, like where bosses keep like, they zoom past you and like shoot at you from the left side, you can just flip the ship around and just shoot them that way instead of relying just on the rear gun slot or on auto track weapons or homing weapons. So that's another thing, like it gives you sort of a different play style to try out. And that's what I really like about what they did with this, is that, you know, you can just keep coming up with like one weird build after another. And, you know, there's just so many ways to fight your way through the content. It's a pretty cool job they did here. And I'm very happy with it. Alright, I'm going to let this go for now. I've been streaming all night and the sun is coming up, and it's like I'm going on like 3 hours here. So I think I've said about everything that needed to be said about this for right now. But yeah, like the mission, as far as the missions, we're back to the beginning on the harder difficulty. The difficulties just keep going on basically forever. Like finishing the 10th one, I think, is what you need to do for the achievement. But we got a lot of the medals unlocked already here. Found 7 of 13 hitchhikers, so there were definitely a lot I missed there. But I am done for right now, and I am going to get out of here. Yes, I really want to end my campaign. And, well, thank you for joining me tonight and for watching. Anybody who happens to be, happen to drop in, followers, lurkers, chatters, everybody, I appreciate you. It's nice to know that somebody out there is enjoying this. And this, you know, this does occasionally go on sale. I don't think any of the Rake and Grass games are on sale right now, but you know, they go on pretty deep discounts on a regular basis. So it's worth dropping this on your wish list if you want to keep up with that. If you're into this sort of thing, because it's really good bang for the buck. Thanks everyone, and you have a wonderful day. Happy holidays. When this is done, I'm going to drop it on the YouTube channel later, but right now I think I just want to lay down and rest my eyes a little bit, so I'll catch up with that when I catch up with it. Thank you for being here. Have a good night, and take care.